like this?
I don't want to carry on too much here tonight, but it's really important that we say a few things. Where's my wife? The first thing I want to say is thank you to each and every one of you for being here. I've got goosebumps at the moment standing here looking out there. For what started 4 years ago as a maybe we'll get some boats to come to Australia, to standing here and looking at a sea of people in our t-shirts and these tops. $50 that goes to the government as tax. So we're back down to 445, and the rally, the biosecurity, and that's 440. But there's a happy ending. But before I get to that, then we go tonight, and it's her head and Baltimore here, Ian and Irene. Where's Irene, mate? Cooking, man, already. Just going around for a minute. Leanne and I first came to this marina 10 years ago as cruisers going up and down the coast. Well, probably longer than that, 12 years ago, when we were going up and down to Lizard Island and cruising the Queensland coast. We came here then and had meals, and we've been coming here frequently ever since. And I can say without, I said to Leanne sitting out there the other night, if I had to choose a restaurant to go to for a meal to know that I was going to get consistency and quality, I would choose this one every time. I don't know if anyone else has dined here since we've been here or if you feel the same way, but this is an incredible example of what a high standard can do. I just want to congratulate you guys on your... And they've generously supplied what we're having here tonight. Look, this $495 thing, it doesn't work. Without the support of our rally partners such as Baltimore, this couldn't work. But the Bunderberg Marina have put their hands well deep in their pockets to ensure that this does work and to give us all of the benefits that we receive. There's 40 other rally partners, I'm not going to name them all, but without each and every one of them, this just wouldn't happen. It could not happen. So please, when you're looking to buy things or do something with the boat, have a look at that guide to rally benefits. Wherever possible, if you could patronise our rally partners, that's the way to make this work. It works for us, then it works for you. So a big thank you to our rally partners. We've got a little way to go with our biosecurity process, and we're working on that, and it's improving each year, and we'll continue to do that. But the guys that got the worst rap over a number of years were customs. If I can just get a quick show of hands, who had fear about arriving in Australia with border force? Can you put them back up if your experience has been less than good? There you go. So we've all cleared into ports all over the world, and I think that the Australian Border Force has upped their game substantially in the last 4 or 5 years. I'd like to think some of that's due to us, but I think Australia now is a place that is quite fair and reasonable to arrive into and not be something that needs to be feared. So again, I want to congratulate them on coming to the party and stepping up. I think they've done a great job. They're not. And they're actually not allowed to come. They're not allowed to accept a free drink. They're not allowed to accept a sandwich. So that's why they're not.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with customs and irritation. Nothing at all.
Customs and irritation. So look, I've got Brett here, and I'm going to just bang on a little bit longer. For 10 years previously, the manager of this marina was a fella called Jeff, who became a friend of mine. I consider him a friend, and I did then and I still do now. After 18 years of service here, he decided that it was time to move on and do something different for himself. And when I got last year when we arrived and Jeff said, listen, this is it, I'm out, I won't be here next year, I thought, uh-oh, how's that going to go? And I have been nervous, to say the least, for about 8 months. This guy here, and I love Jeff, but I don't reckon he could have pulled this off.
Don't tell
I
him.
emailed him when we got 40 boats, because previously Jeff had a little bit of a quarantine when we had 40. And so I've emailed him and said, hey mate, we've got 40, how are we going? You need to shut this down? He said, no, we'll be all right. Okay. So I get 50 and how are we doing now? I said, no, it's okay. All right. Then it got 60 and I thought, that's got to be it. I go back to him again, I said, no, he said, I'll let you know when it's a problem. So then it goes to 72. And I get one little email, he says, yeah, I might have run out of berths. But then he says, but I think I can work it, it'll be okay. He never shut me down once, and I think that, how's the experience? And he's only as good as the people around him, and there's some lovely people here in blue shirts that most all of you. There's a very humble looking fellow here with glasses on with his arms folded. And Pete's actually one of the owners of the marina and a huge supporter of what we do. So I want to thank Peter for putting down this project. At 7 o'clock, again, compliments of Baltimore, and at quite an expense, I might say. We've got a smoking ceremony here. We've got an a traditional Indigenous landowner, what would we call it?
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome to country ceremony, and I think you're really going to enjoy that. So at 7 o'clock that's going to be happening out here. Make sure your cameras are ready, make sure you get a good spot. Brett's going to come up and say a few words. I'm going to shut up, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, that's pretty humbling. Thank you, John. John and Leanne, I appreciate that. And yeah, it was a bit of a stretch. First people I've got to thank is my staff. You just cannot do anything without good staff. And the trouble that they've gone to and the extra effort that they've gone to has been humbling for me, because I just appreciate everything that they've done and everything that they do while you're here, and I appreciate everything that will happen when you go, just to finish it all off, and we'll talk about it and we'll work out what we did wrong and what we can improve on next year. And we hopefully will make it into a bigger one next year and a better one, and I might be able to take 80 or 90 boats next year. Up to Peter though. I would also like to thank Peter and Mick. Mick is the other owner. Peter and Shana and Mick and Rose. Without this sponsorship that Peter and Mick and Rose and Shana put in, this wouldn't happen. All the other sponsors, we also appreciate all the other sponsors. As you know, this thing doesn't happen without sponsors, and that's what gets it to the end result. Most importantly, I'd like to thank John and Leanne. This is when you put this together, communication is a key ingredient. What the emails that go back and forward and the updates that happen. That's the only way this all gets to where it is today, is because everyone's working together. So I'd like to really thank John and Leanne, and thank you. Thank you for bringing everyone to Bunderberg Marina. The other part of this equation are all of you, because every time one of those emails go out, we want to hear what's happening and we need to know what's going on, and that's how we end up with 70 berths out there this time, because every one of you came together and you emailed me and we were in contact and we knew exactly what was happening, and that made it so much easier for me because I could actually organise berths. I had we had tags up there when we knew you were coming, updates on when you were leaving, updates on when you were arriving. It helps us, it helps Border Force, it helps quarantine, and so last of all, and certainly not least, put your hands together for all of you guys, because this is something that
I just want to, I didn't mention that, and you guys as a group have been the most communicative and responsive to my request for information. You've been the most rapid to respond. You've been a pleasure to work with. I've got to tell you, I've done less work on this rally for 60, 70 odd votes than I did for 40 votes last year. So it doesn't get to where it's got to without your participation and your consideration and your cooperation. So I want to reiterate that. Thank you.
And blogs, Facebook, Instagram, all adds to the cruising community. It's one big family. Just go out there and put these guys out there. Put Bunderberg Marina out there, because we do try, and we try to do our best. That we'll have hiccups along the way. You come and tell us, we'll try and sort them out. But in the end of it, we're here for you and any other cruises that come through. So welcome everyone to Bunderberg Marina.
And finally, just finally, what about those seafood platters? So Pete is also Ocean Pacific Seafoods, and that was his little, him and Mick. Oh, hello, Kat wants to bring me down a peg or two, so as you know. So just before you do, you're going to say who you are and how you're going to be here, or am I?
You do it. You go right ahead.
As you know,
Most of you
catfish Cat is nearly blind. I would like to basically say, in our catamaran, we would not have done the trip to Vanuatu and back without her. She did better than any normal sighted person. She fixed a rope on our furler that was knotted and twisted in the middle of the night, midnight, in a rough sea with 20 knots of wind when we couldn't get the heads off because it was all furled and unfurled. She went up the front and unfurled it. Unfurled it up again. Incredible. Anyway, you've got a story about John.
I just want to tell you,
Loud as you can, Kat.
John is right. My John is very correct. We couldn't have done this without that man there. Okay. I have gone on numerous little excursions, tried to join various things to enjoy the last of my fishing with. And so many times, you know, one example, I wanted to go whitewater rafting. And we signed up for it, and everything was fine when I went in and paid the $400 per person to do it. But then on the day when I showed up, they went, oh, you can't do it, you can't see. And I'm like, I can do it, I can sort of see. But anyway, bottom line is, when I went to the information day, and I'd already signed up, you know, we're coming on this rally, filled in all my little forms, didn't mention I had a white stick. We've arrived at the information day, I walked up, I said hello to these people, they've given me a kiss, a cuddle, welcome, it's going to be great having you along. He really didn't flinch at all. Didn't flinch at all. And look, John has just given me so much support. He talked to the insurance company as well. I know you did that in the background. And you know, he really helped John and I achieve ticking off one of my bucket list boxes. And when we sailed in, or when we motored up the river here the other morning, and John was standing on the deck with Leanne, and these two are as excited about me coming in as I am. And they're jumping up and down and waving, and I'm jumping up and down and waving. And then they yell out, oh my God, you made it! And I'm like, yeah, oh my God, I made it! And I burst into tears, she's burst into tears. He's come over later, he said he burst into tears. And I'm like, you just don't get it, guys. What you did, not flinching when I walked in. Not just allowing me to do this, but enabling me to do this.
Yeah.
Nice job. Thank you for allowing me to do that.
You're a bugger, you are. Alright, we get on the fun stuff. Bunderberg Marina have donated all these prizes. and we're going to donate. We're going to draw the big one tonight. So we've got 3 free haul outs here to give out during Welcome Week from Bunderberg Marina. Amazing stuff. And this is the Pista La Resistance. How's the French? This is a free haul out, both ways, hull pressure clean, 5 days free on the hard stand. If you were to pay for it, it'd cost you $1,100. Who's going to draw it, Brett? Peter.
Come on.
They're keywords, mate.
Pick out phrases.
Just hang on a second. Just hang on a second. So, for those of you who don't know, we met these guys a couple of years ago in Muscat Cove the first time. We were the Aussies, they were the Kiwis. And there was I think we had a couple of firelighting competitions and all sorts of typical Aussie Kiwi banter. For this bloke to be wearing that tie, he's struggling. So, congratulations, mate. Pete, do the honours. Let's get a photo.
I'll just tell you, it's very timely too, because when we were in Muscat Cove this year, I was backing up into the berth, and it was low tide, and we hooked up with somebody's anchor chain, and it ran up the back of the keel, so we got a serrated edge on the back of the keel, just what I need. And then I went to clean the hull before I come home, and I got sick of snorkeling on the damn thing. And so there's a gap underneath the boat about where I had needed the tank to get to it, so it'll be just perfect. Once again.
Thank you, mate. Sorry it's such a big boat, Brad, it's going to test you, but...
40 or 50 is no different.
Alright guys, enjoy. Thank you very much. We'll see you all.
Thank you.